Excuse me, barman. I believe women can get free drinks. I'll have 2 Cokes, 1 with rum, a gin and lemonade. Thanks very much. Yes! The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town.
He's back.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Now,
nice to meet you back. I'm Dan.
Oh, you're Dan?
I'm Dan.
My name's Tom. What's your name?
I didn't think about this bit.
You've had 3 weeks.
Joseph.
3 weeks.
Backstreet. Benham.
He's back.
Backstreet's back.
Yep.
Back with a vengeance, mate.
All
you
right.
are back. And you know what? You're back on episode 33.
I am.
Now today.
Which is a multiple of 3.
Well, yeah, and you've had...
And we're 3.
Well, there's 3 of us.
It's like,
and
that's
there's
like
also,
11 of us lot.
There's also 3 sides to every mic stand and tripod.
Where have you got that from?
And there's 3 legs,
Not always.
And a trident is something that Aquaman has.
Yeah.
And Aquaman drinks water, and there's water in most liquids, and we're drinking liquids.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That is mad.
3 really is the magic number.
It's the magic number. Now, like I said, today isn't just episode 33. It is also National Pet Day.
That's really good, but it's not important because actually it's an even more important day than that.
No, it can't
It's
be.
Monday.
Woohoo!
Start of the working
Can't
week,
possibly
guys,
be
gals,
more
and
important.
But
non-binary
it's
pals.
not just any Monday.
Happy Monday.
It is a year
Good band, that.
to the first Monday
Is
a
it?
Few Scoops podcast came out.
It is
No
A year
way.
ago.
I'm going to check the calendar. Going to consult the calendar.
So the first episode...
It is a year since... Well, mate. Well, congrats, fellas.
One sec. Let me just check my calendar.
We did it.
One sec, let me
Yeah,
check.
you check your calendar.
And I know that
It is a year since the first episode came
way.
out.
No.
I can't believe that.
What?
Bet you're glad I shared that with you, aren't you, boys?
Yeah,
I am really
Wow.
happy, mate.
You'd have been totally
Well,
lost.
congratulations to us.
Yeah,
We made it a year.
Congratulations.
Cheers, mate.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, pal. Yeah, very well done. Thank you. Lovely.
Thank you. I liked how you wiped your hand and then spat on it,
Yeah.
just to make sure it was clean of anything else.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just
Yeah.
going to be your saliva.
Well, that's like we've explained on previous episode. If I'm going to the toilet and there's pee on the toilet seat, I'll pee on the toilet seat to pee off the pee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're listening, you won't notice anything different. But if you're watching, if you're on
Switch off.
YouTube or TikTok,
Actually, if you
or
are
even-
listening, you might hear that Tom's voice is slightly more effeminate than normal.
Exactly. You will notice if you've got an eagle eye that I've changed the laces on my shoes. You see them? Yeah. And I'm also dressed in Casey's clothing. I'm dressed in a dress with a stupid hat
For
on.
no other reason than this is exactly what Tom does when we're not here. He
It
just
is.
wasn't ready for us to turn up today.
I wasn't,
and this is what he's
wasn't
dressed like.
expecting. No, the reality is that I got served. They don't sponsor us. They should
No, they don't.
sponsor us.
Yeah.
They shout out served. We
Sponsor
haven't done one of them
served.
for a while. It's a card game for couples who like to challenge one another's with cards of interesting tasks. And today I got served with the Sorcerer Stylist card, which allowed Katie to dress me however she bloody wanted. So that is why I am dressed in this beautiful attire for the remainder of
Wait
this
until you get
podcast.
to the
Slow
political
pan onto
belief
Tom's
cards.
chest
Oh,
hair.
yes. Yep. All 33 of my chest
Yeah.
hairs.
33?
No,
Yeah, I
this-
know.
30. Did you put one out for the episode?
Threes again. This is weird. This is uncanny. It's getting weird. Now, also, I mean, I know it's been a year since we started this whole venture.
It has.
Thank you for joining us on those 52 weeks,
To
365
the 10 people that
days.
still listen, we
10. We've
we
still
see
got
you.
10.
To the
Wow.
8 people that still listen,
Nice.
we see you.
Oh, wait, no, hang on. 7 now.
To
Just
the
lost
7
another.
people that
Just
still
lost
watch,
another.
we see you.
They tuned
Yeah.
off.
I know who you are. This is also the first time we have never had anybody else in the room with us
Yeah.
behind the
No, it's
cameras
very
or
true.
as an audience. So we don't actually know if we're being funny this week. So we're just going to presume everything
Well,
we do say
you
is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
You say there's no one else in the room with us, but when you take psychedelics before every show like I do, there's always someone else in the room with you.
I don't need psychedelics. I have schizophrenia.
And
Yeah.
I have split personality disorder, so.
Yeah, a girl told me she liked my personality recently, which I said is a good thing. She's got about 10 more of them that she's ready to see.
Now,
I've actually got a story for you before we
have
get
you?
started, guys. Yeah. So obviously,
what have you got for us?
I've not been. This is just a story.
You've got a story for us.
Well, it's actually
What
it's
have you
just.
got?
It's a story.
You got a story?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
So
reckon Joe should start us off with a story,
obviously,
Have you got a story for us?
Yeah, I have got a story for us.
Tell us a story.
It's not a super long story, but obviously I've not been here for a fair couple of weeks.
It's taken a while to tell us this story.
Apparently, you mount the curb with your car and hit a couple of pedestrians and you go to jail or some shit. I don't know like that.
God.
But the story is actually I was talking.
You only did 2
to-
weeks for hitting pedestrians on a paper.
It's been more than 2 weeks. These go out every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It's been like
Damn.
We haven't missed him.
Time's flown
It's
when
been
we're having fun.
6 or 7 weeks since
7
I've
weeks.
been in this flat.
Welcome back, Joe.
In that time, I started speaking to a girl from Bumble.
Oh.
Yeah, it was going well.
Yeah.
I say was.
And she turned up.
No,
She was a bloke.
she
In a dress.
she's she's diabetic.
Right. This is a joke.
And one night, I told her to have sweet dreams, and she died. So that was the end of that. And then worse than that.
Wow.
I was because I was working from home for a couple of weeks, so I was using the toilet at home. So I thought I'd do a bit of light reading. Took a magazine, dropped it in the toilet. It was an issue. That's all I've got today, guys.
I've got some news for us.
Have you?
I do. It's local
good.
news. as well.
Ukraine has won the war. By Monday.
I've also got
Might be
news.
true.
So you tell your news, I'll tell my news,
Yeah.
and that'll be news.
Boy, have I got news for you.
Oh, tell me.
And I was telling Joe about this earlier. Bit of local news. So if you're not from Manchester, it's still
Don't
going to be
listen.
intriguing because what could be more exciting than suspected murder?
Oh, it's been a mother.
No, it's
Have
been
you
suspected.
seen the? Do you know there's like a police auction they do, like the stuff
Yes.
they seize in the auction off,
They
and
do, yeah.
we have most places have them. We have one in Manchester, and the guy that runs it, I don't know what, it's not an umpire, whatever they called that has a little.
The auctioneer.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Going on 30, 35,
That's
35,
it.
40, 45, 44, 4, go on, 1, 2, 45, 45, 50, 50, 55, 55 in the corner. Yeah, that guy.
Sounds like you're doing a
that
sound
one.
check for a microphone.
Nice.
He's been found dead,
Oh.
but it's suspected foul play,
Well.
and they think it's to do with the stuff they've been auctioning off.
Oh.
I know. I was reading the news the other day. It's mad, isn't it?
What, the auctioning?
Well, they auction all sorts, don't they? Like cars, everything. He was like, I think he was like 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
But an interesting thing, I brought this up earlier when Dan told me. Do they auction drugs at these police auctions and then use that to entrap people who are buying? And we're going to auction
not
off.
it's
we're
not
gonna auction off a
an
kilo of
underground
cocaine.
secret
today,
The
guys.
crime isn't purchasing the drugs, though, is it? The
Well,
crime is selling it.
Well, you can get done for
No,
purchasing
they
it.
don't sell drugs. They get rid of all them. It's like if a drug.
Are you sure that's cocaine?
Someone.
Whoa!
That's how the man with the gavel speaks so quickly. He just does a line before each auction.
No, it's like if someone's had all their cars seized because they bought them with drug money, or they just sell them
Yeah,
off
it's
cheap.
all about counterfeit money and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But imagine if they did do that.
Yeah,
And
like,
next
we-
on the list is a kilo of cocaine. Yes, up. Ah, shit! It's a
So you
police
can
auction.
legally own a car that's once been bought illegally and then taken from someone.
Well, but I think
So-
I'm presuming they get the correct papers and get it registered officially
Yeah.
and all that.
Wait,
in the
that's how you meant
meantime.
to purchase a car?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been nicking them.
What, when they're out of petrol, you nick a new one.
Yeah.
Well, if the doors
But-
are
well, they're
unlocked,
not-
they're
they're
finders keepers.
They are reusable, right?
Cars?
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks.
You can't. You take them and fill them up with.
No, if you-
Well, someone
Actually,
told
no,
me that
that's-
about disposable cameras the other day. You can get the photos developed.
No, I've just been
I always
chucking 'em in
wondered
the
what the
bin.
point was. When they've finished, I just chuck them in the bin.
Oh,
And no one told me I
mate.
can get them developed.
To the petrol thing though, I was driving the other day, and legitimately, this one isn't a joke. There was a woman with her hazards on, pulled up on the
Don't-
left
I
side of the
can't
road.
hack it.
So I pulled over because I keep jump cables in my car just in case.
Yeah.
in case he needs to
Just-
jump someone.
Just needs to get to the side of the road and do some skipping.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump,
well,
jump.
I've got to get my exercise in somehow.
Yeah.
And I pulled over and I was like, "Is everything all right? What's happened with the car?" And she went, "Oh, I don't want to tell you what the issue is. It's really embarrassing." I was like, "Can't be that bad. Do you need jumping?" She just went, "No, I've run out of petrol." I was like, you get such a forewarning on the car. It was an Audi A1 as well, so it's not like it's a really old banger
Yeah.
that's falling apart.
Not
You
just
get
that.
such a forewarning.
The light comes on at least 25 miles. Some cars are even more, but typically it's 25 miles till empty. But not just that. Your car will still drive on empty for a period of time. You've got another 5 to 10 miles in that
Especially
before.
going downhill or off a cliff.
Yeah,
She was
well,
going down.
yeah, off a cliff it'll go.
She was going down.
Yeah.
But I've not run out of petrol once since I've started. I've been very close. I've had my petrol sign on for a very long time,
Petrol sign.
like the low fuel indicator. But I've never run out.
What's an indicator?
Oh, I forget that you drove BMWs. Yeah, of course.
Sorry, mate.
But the indicator, it's your wiper fluid.
My boobs are falling out.
Oh God,
Put yourself away, Tom.
Yeah.
PG-13.
I know.
But hashtag free the nipple.
Hashtag free the nipple. Yeah. Now I've got some more real news for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And you might not be able to tell because we're inside and it's dark and it's all artificially lit. But spring is upon us. All right.
I mean, I wasn't able to tell
I thought
during
this
the
couch
daytime.
this couch was a bit bouncy.
The days are getting lighter and longer.
Yes.
And I'm wearing a woolly winter hat, but well. Lambs are filling the fields and flowers are back in bloom. All right. However,
Great club bloom.
a council in Cornwall has been branded bonkers.
I saw this earlier
because
today.
they have refused to plant more daffodils in their park because they are poisonous and can give people diarrhea if eaten.
And people keep eating them.
2 words. Natural selection.
People in Cornwall are eating the daffodils of a park, children and adults apparently. So they've had to remove them and not plant anymore.
2 words. They are idiots.
That was 3 words and that was 3 again.
Oh.
3 is the magic.
3 words. I suck at maths.
It's going to keep going. Just throw another
That
word
was
on every
4
time.
words.
Oh. 4 words. I really suck at maths.
So yeah. Now I want to give you another little cheeky snippet of news.
Oh yeah.
It's just a cheeky little one. It's quite interesting actually.
Yeah.
Now
That was very interesting actually.
I've got my summer dress on. Going on holiday this week. I'm going to Milan.
Lovely.
Airports, they're absolute nightmare at the moment.
They are.
So that led me to just having a look into airports, and up popped a news article that was very interesting. And airports have long been seen as a way to escape the day-to-day life and explore the world beyond, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is one fella
I've seen this.
who has took the term escape
Yeah.
to the absolute limit by venturing to Beijing Capital International Airport 14 years ago and never returned.
He's left. He lives there.
He's called Wei Django.
Lives in the airport.
Yeah.
He lives in the airport, just like the
What
film
guy?
Terminal with Tom Hanks. Classic film, 1992. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it was 1992. It seems like 1992.
It was in the 90s.
Keep going and I'm going to Google this.
Thank you. He's a Chinese man in his 60s and he's lived in the airport's Terminal 2 since 2008.
1992. Have another guess.
Go on.
1987.
2004.
2004.
Well
yeah.
out.
Pretty close.
Now, his reason for never leaving, he just wanted to smoke and drink without his family bothering
Yeah, he
him.
wanted to get away from his wife,
Just
didn't he?
wanted a bit of peace and
Now,
bloody quiet.
You think
This
he
is
just
the thing
divorced
as well. Isn't an airport... isn't there something to do with the legalities with airports in terms of they're not bound by a particular country's laws?
Yeah.
So in theory, there's crimes he could commit without committing crimes.
There is bylaws in airports that sometimes repeat
I'm
precedent.
so glad we
However,
finally introduced laws to
there
protect bisexual
was-
people.
There was a fella many years ago who the film The Terminal 2004, Tom Hanks, very good.
Shout out the Terminal and Tom Hanks.
Shout out Tom Hanks.
2004.
Shout out 2004 film, Tom. Never
Well
mind.
done.
you
That was based on this gentleman who, when he left his home country, it was a country, it was an established country. And then by the time he'd landed in his destination airport, I can't remember where it was. I think it was in the States.
It was it? Yeah, it was.
That country had lost its sovereignty. And so he technically couldn't leave the airport because he couldn't go through border control, but he also couldn't go back because he was no longer a member or citizen of a country because it had lost its sovereignty. And he ended up living there for 28 years.
Yeah.
Or 27, I think it was.
He started doing things like returning all the trolleys to get the quarters, didn't he? So he could go and pay for food at
That's pretty clever,
and
to be honest.
Now, obviously, an airport...
Yeah, but then what they did, the airport then hired someone whose job it was to just go and collect all the trolleys, so he couldn't then go and collect the trolleys and get money to pay for food.
Why wouldn't they just hire him?
Because he didn't have a national insurance number.
Oh.
And because...
I'm making it up.
racism. I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like if it's an airport. Sounds like it was racially motivated.
Yeah.
Probably was.
No, obviously, speaking of that, airport security, they are very tight, and you'd think someone living in an airport would get caught. Now, this way fella, he is often subject to police security, and he is cleared out, and they'll actually drive him back to his home where his family are. However, Way says he always finds his way back, and he said, I get expelled, lay low, and then I come back, just like old times.
Nice.
I'd say he finds his way back.
Yeah, way back. Very nice.
Ramadan Mubarak to all of our Muslim listeners, as Ramadan started 4 days ago from when we started filming this.
Yeah.
How culturally aware of you, Joe?
Yeah.
And happy Hanukkah.
Nope.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly what we said
And did
this time last year.
Well, it wasn't this time
not a
last year.
similar time last year because Ramadan changes each year, doesn't it?
It's
And
based on
also,
the lunar
I
calendar.
learned about the Ramadan lanterns. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know as well? I think it's in 20.
Sorry, just give that little. What's it called?
Let that percolate. But
what are they called? The
No,
balls
let him figure it out. Let him figure it out.
The
What are the-
tumbleweed.
There we go.
Just let the tumbleweed roll across.
I
First,
think
Joe.
I think it's either 2030 or 2032. There will be 2 Ramadans in a single year
That's
because
mad.
it's based on the lunar cycle.
And there's going to be 2 moons.
There is.
Global warming.
Not
Elon
bloody-
Musk is taking this.
I don't
too
know
far.
who global warming is, but I reckon I can stop him.
Do you think?
Yeah. I reckon I can face him. There's a theory about Elon Musk buying such a big share in Twitter and being
9.2%.
appointed to the board of directors.
Yeah, he gets given a place on the board because of it, doesn't he?
But there's a theory that he's done that because that kid keeps tracking his plane through Twitter and he just wants to ban the account.
No, but the kid stopped now. The kid started tracking Russian oligarchs' planes.
Yeah.
Nice. You should
But
do that more often.
he's not doing anything. All he did was create a bot that basically tracked the signatures of planes and made
the
automatic
call
tweets
signs.
about them. And that's all he did. So he's not done anything illegal.
Yeah.
It's all
So
just
clever.
information that's easily accessible.
Because I think it's quite funny because all of that flight data is public knowledge anyway.
That's what I was
I
meaning.
think there's a website. I think it's Flight Radar 24.
Yeah.
That everything is trackable.
Everything is. Even the military planes are.
Yeah, just before when the whole Ukraine-Russia thing was kicking off, people were seeing European flights and jets either diverting on Ukraine or military aircraft from different nationalities flying into Ukraine.
Did you see, was it the Kenyan airline that was the one that just went straight through the middle?
across.
Yeah.
Pilots there thinking, well, this looks clear.
Yeah.
Can't be any worse than home.
Traffic's looking really good today. I'll be home for tea.
His Google Maps is on. There is congestion on your current route. This route saves 1 hour and 23 minutes.
That's
Yes,
Oh,
please.
I'll take that.
Time zones must be different. It's New Year's here. Speaking of time zones, I've got something very interesting.
Oh, so do I as well. But carry on.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if I tell mine,
Yeah.
then in an hour's time, you could tell yours.
Yeah.
Cool. So, off the coast of Alaska,
Yes.
there is an island.
Yeah.
Okay. And neighboring that island is a second island. Okay. I can't remember the exact names of these islands, but they have the same name. One is called Small, one is called Large, and
Yeah.
no, let's call them the Island of Tom. So you've got Small Tom and Large Tom.
Yeah.
These islands, one off the coast
Which
of
conveniently,
Alaska.
by the way, is what he's named his boobs for the
It
day.
is. Oh, Large Tom's falling out.
Hashtag free the nipple.
These islands, there's one that borders Alaska and is owned by America. The other one borders Russia and is owned by Russians. These islands are only 2.8 miles apart and they're in a very cold part of the
Is
world.
that nautical miles? Or
That's as the crow flies.
as the crow
miles.
flies?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a man's ruler.
Yeah. The correct measurement.
Now, during the winter, the sea in this part of the world freezes, which means you can actually walk between the islands.
That's pretty
People
cool.
don't because Russia and Americans just don't generally tend to mix
Get
very
on.
well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
They hide it so well, though.
They do. Anyway, if I was on the island bordering Alaska on a Monday,
Yeah.
I could walk 2.8 miles
Yeah.
to the island bordering Russia.
Yeah.
Take me half an hour. It would now be Tuesday. because the time zone goes right down the middle of these two islands, meaning they are a whole day apart,
Yeah.
24 hours apart.
There's a
You walk into the future.
It's crazy, isn't it? Who owns the bigger island of the two, by the way?
Russia owns the bigger island.
Of course they do.
It's called Big Diomede.
wow, they are bloody close.
And then
aren't
you've
they?
got Diomede, which is the Alaskan
They're
one.
very close.
Do you reckon Diomede was owned first and then Russia went, well,
We're not having
ours
that.
is going to be Big Diomede?
Yeah.
Don't know.
When you said about being able to walk across time zones, if you walked from one side of Russia to the other, you would walk across 11 different time zones. No one needs that many fucking time zones in a country. No one needs that many time zones in a country at all.
Let's just do away with Russia. What's mad as well is if you look at a world map for time zones, obviously you have the earliest time zone right on the left in like America, and then you have the latest time zone in Australia.
The earliest one will be in Diomede, and the latest one will be Big Diomede.
But in theory, so
I'm going to get one that's bigger
at a map,
Diomede.
if you were going from Australia to America, you'd go backwards. But actually, if you just went right on the map instead, you're still going backwards in time, but forwards on the map. Because it wraps around.
Around.
Oh, that'd be
Because
very nice.
you get people looking at maps and they go, well, if I'm going from America and I'm going to go over to, so I've got to go all that way.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, the reality is you can just go around the back.
But
And
they don't
it
do that,
depends
do
on
they?
some flights, though, because some of them do need to stop over and you can't stop over in the middle of the ocean. Because unfortunately,
Well, you can, but only
planes
once.
like to sink on water.
Actually,
Unless landed right,
they will
you,
float.
you do get planes that can land on water.
You do.
But most of them, again, will only do it once.
There was a video I saw the other day as well, and these people live on the equator line, and they had 3 bowls of water,
Yeah.
one on one hemisphere, one on the other hemisphere, and one on the equator. They put a little flower in each, and the flower on one side of the equator went clockwise. The one on the other side of the equator went counterclockwise, and the one on the
Straight
equator just stayed
So
still.
you know how they say that water flows down sinkholes in different directions on different hemispheres? That's actually bollocks.
I've just explained to you.
No,
there's a video that proves
water
that's
going
the case.
down. Yeah, but I've seen videos that prove that it's bollocks about the water spiraling down sinkholes.
I've been
Are you
to
meaning
the-
on like a toilet?
No, like
When they
if-
say the toilet
if you
flushes
plug
the other way?
no, if you plug a sink, fill it with water, and pull the plug out. That was in the northern hemisphere. Apparently, you see the water spiral down one way.
Yeah.
Southern hemisphere, you see it spiral the other way.
Yeah, I've just
But I have
explained that.
but I've seen videos that prove that the water thing of spiraling down a sinkhole is bollocks
you just mirror the video.
Oh right, yeah.
So I've been to the equator and seen this in person, and it's fascinating. The water, and I'm telling you, you don't have to be miles either side of the equator. 30 centimeters to a meter, eat the northern southern hemisphere.
Miles for an ant.
The water does go opposite ways. When you stood on the equator, you weigh less because the centrifugal force of the planet is strongest there, meaning that when you stand on scales, you're pulled away from the scales more than you normally would. Shadows.
Pushed away, not pulled away.
Well, yeah. Well, centrifugal force pulls you outwards.
Yeah, it does.
But we don't have a force that pulls us outwards. We have a force that pulls us
No,
inwards.
but that's gravity. But the rotation of the Earth is a centrifuge, basically, and a centrifuge
outwards.
pulls out.
Bollocks. Carry on.
Reverse the video, probably.
Wow, I'm gaining so much weight.
Shadows on the equator when on midday are literally right below you. You don't have a shadow
That's odd.
because the sun is directly above you. It's
That's so
not, like midday here. Yes, the sun is at its highest in the sky, but it might
What
be.
about if you stand with your legs apart?
Might be an
You'd
angle.
look like a
Stand with your legs
really.
apart. There's a shadow.
You'd just have a line.
You'd look like a really shitty model from an old PS2 game where the shadow they generated was just a circle beneath you.
Yeah,
That's all you'd
That's
look
what it
like.
looks like. It's an absolute fascinating place to be, and you should definitely
What's
give it a visit.
it drawn on with? Is it like a thick Sharpie or is it a paint roller?
Well,
biro?
see, they used to use Tipex, but in the more tropical parts of the world, rainforests, etc., the Tipex just washes
just
away
deforest
after
it
a
in a
while.
straight line.
So yeah, they just carve a big hole in the earth. But in colder climates, they'll just use pebbles. And then when you get to the deserts and the really hot places,
How annoying would it be if someone like me, who is really mischievous, just went over and just moved all these pebbles? That's where the equator is now because I've deemed it so.
I'm also fascinated that Joe believes that they actually just use pebbles to mark the equator.
Did they use big rocks
in the
instead?
civilized places I've been, it is a tarmacked line on the ground for miles.
What if someone mischievous like me retarmacked it somewhere else?
Comes along, digs it up.
What's that massive machine? Don't worry about it.
Someone weighs themselves.
Just moving the equator.
Someone weighs himself beforehand, and then he's like, "What's this? I'm going to weigh less now." Stands on the equator line, weighs exactly the same, because Joe's decided to go and re-tarmac it.
Yeah. Well, not just me. Obviously, I'll take a tarmacking company.
There are also buildings to mark the equator.
I'll knock them down and rebuild them. I will stop at nothing to move this so-called line. It doesn't matter anyway. The world's flat.
The world is flat, and the line just goes across the middle like a folded piece of paper.
I've got something that I want to mention. I discovered this so recently. It was like literally 3 days ago.
I was expecting more recent. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
it's like,
the way you described it.
That's like I want it recently.
It was like 2.5 days.
So recently.
Like so recently would have been. You realised like
2.5 days
in the car on the way here. You're like, oh shit.
See, even then, I'd say today. So recently would be like just then when I started the sentence.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, now, like now.
Well,
now.
No, now.
By the time I finish saying now, it's not so recently anymore. Why don't you rephrase how recently you?
Well, I live in a perpetual state of forgetting things. So technically, every time I learn something, I've learnt it now. So recently to me is the fact that I'd only just remembered it about 30 seconds ago.
So how are you going to tell us?
Tenner.
How are you going to tell us if you perpetually forget things?
Hey,
I've got it written down.
What have you got written down?
I don't know. Notifications will be silenced. So Ethiopia.
You've only just learned about Ethiopia?
Yeah. Have you ever tried Ethiopian food?
Yeah.
Neither have they. You were meant to say no, Tom. You've ruined my joke.
I know.
The Ethiopian calendar is 8 years behind the calendar that we use.
Yeah, and the Chinese calendar is like 1,000 years ahead of the one we use.
They have 13 months in a year. 12 of the months have 30 days, and the last one is very short, just 5 or 6, depending on whether or not it is a leap year, and their day does not start at midnight, but at sunrise. It's no bloody wonder they're so far behind.
That's like they thought, you've got this well wrong. We're going to do it how it should be done.
Well, we use the
30-day months,
calendar,
and that's what fixes it.
They're still waiting for their Apple Macs to turn over from 1999 to 2000, and they're going, ah!
Oh, we've got to prepare for Y2K, guys. We've got to prepare.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you ordered something to be delivered to Ethiopia, it'd take 8 fucking years for it to show up anyway, wouldn't it?
Gutted.
That's what I'm going to say now.
Amazon Prime.
Uber Eats.
Anything I sell on
this is cold.
Anything I sell on eBay, if I forget to ship it now, I'm going to be like, it's not late. It's running on Ethiopian time.
Yeah. Yeah, I use the Ethiopian calendar, not the Gregorian calendar.
I'm going to use that.
It's quite an interesting. Yeah, if you're ever late, for work, guys, technically you're 8 years early on Ethiopian time. I'm not even employed yet. Yeah. Actually, no, don't say that.
It is crazy that we all share one planet, but there are multiple different calendars and such. It is.
Time is a construct.
It absolutely is.
What is time?
Time is a thing you can put on the wall.
Time is something.
On your wrist.
Time is
wear
something
it on your wrist.
You can quantify in sand and put into a glass bowl.
That was a... Don't hug me, I'm scared. That's what it's called. It's an animated series on YouTube.
Title of your sex tape.
Nice. Bit delayed, but very good. That was good. We'll crop that closer to when he said that.
No, we won't.
Very well.
But yeah, the time is a thing you can put on the wall. And then you said, "Or wear it on your wrist," which is the next line in the song. It's a clock that's singing.
I didn't know that. I was just meaning
it's a really weird series. Don't hug me, I'm scared. If you've never watched it, don't.
Simple as that.
It's fucking weird.
Simple as
But yeah,
that.
it's a clock that's teaching them about time. And he goes, time is a thing you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist. And then it talks about how we're time's limited. We're all going to die.
This is a waste of my time.
What you might not have figured out, because Joe hasn't really been clear on this, but what they say in this show is time is something you can put on the wall or wear on your wrist.
I don't think you covered it appropriately there, actually, Dan.
Did I not?
What Joe was trying to say that you then tried to say again is that time is something that you can put on the wall.
No, it's time is a thing you can put on the wall.
No, you see,
or
that's
wear
the confusion.
it on your wrist.
We also said it 3 times. 3 is the magic number.
It is.
Nice.
All we've got to do now is repeat this podcast exactly how we did it 2 more times, and
I reckon everyone would like to rewind and listen to it again. Because 3 is the magic number and the boys are back in town.
Alternatively, you don't need to rewind it because time is a thing you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist.
See, the problem is now we're up to 4, so I'm just going to have to reiterate: time is a thing you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist.
So we're talking about water.
I was just going to say, so
you just spoke about
water.
Well, on that confusing bombshell, I don't think I can continue anymore. You don't think you can continue anymore. You don't think you can continue anymore.
Don't speak for me. I'll speak for myself. Thank you very much.
Don't speak for me. I'll speak for myself.
I don't think I can continue anymore.
Thank you very much. Once again, this one was for you. That's right. You listening right now.
Wait.
If you have earphones in.
Wait.
Listening to my voice and listening to Joe say, wait.
Say it one more time.
It one more time.
Nice. Thanks very much. I was Tom Mills.
I was Daniel Benham.
And who are you?
Yeah.
Joseph Backstreet Benham, because Backstreet's back
again.
Hey. See you later, guys.
Oh, wait.
Bye.
Who's going to turn the cameras off?
Cheers, guys. Oh, 3 glasses. Cheers.
If only I had a pair
Thank
of
you.
glasses to wear.
I think it's Tom.
Okay.
This is the...
Ciao, Cleavage.